Hey there. I was thinking just the other day that I have such a great investment opportunity that I want to share with you and how I'm excited about it and why it's so exciting. But before I do that, before I tell you more about this potentially great and amazing investment opportunity, I want to ask you some questions just to set the field, right? What if there was a bank out there that offered you all of the services that you need, that you could go to get your home mortgage, get a student loan, get a personal loan, right? And at the same time, they would also give you 1% interest rates on your savings and checking account. And I'm not just talking about any old bank, right? And I'm also not talking about any online bank because we know that the old traditional banks don't give you anywhere close to 1%. They give you about 100 times less than that. But the online banks aren't actual banks, right? But they do give you higher interest rates. They give you 0.5, 0.25, sometimes 1%, maybe even 2%, depending on the online bank. But what if there was a bank that was both a real bank and an online neobank that gave you all the benefits of an actual bank and online banks? What if that bank, that single bank, could help you obtain a car loan, a student loan, buy your first, second, and third house, go on vacation by saving, manage all of your finances in one place, see the bigger picture of your financial health in one app? What if that same bank could also offer you your debit card and your credit card without all the fees that traditional banks pile on, but with the convenience of having ATM access and the ability to deposit your checks via phone and direct deposit, which can land in your account 2 days early from your job? What if the same bank helped you manage your credit score and your budgeting, and at the same time gave you services like home insurance and personal insurance? What if all of these services were possible in a single bank app? And we're not even done yet. Now, on top of all of that, what if the same bank helped you invest in the stock market to build wealth, allowed you to invest in crypto if that's your thing, and not just by choosing your own stocks, but they also give you their own exchange traded funds, ETFs, that help you invest in the passive manner if you're not so confident in your ability to choose your own companies to invest in. And some of their ETFs also offer passive income on a weekly and quarterly or yearly basis through dividend ETF investing. All of these things could be yours in one app from one bank. And if you happen to run a small local business, they can help you get your business off the ground by giving you loans and other services that small businesses need to succeed, all in one bank. What if that was possible? I know it sounds like a pipe dream because we haven't seen anything like it before, but this is where the great investment opportunity starts to play out. As a consumer, someone who needs a bank that does everything in one place and makes it very convenient and has competitive interest rates and loan rates, it sounds amazing, at least to myself. I happen to be a loyal member of this bank. And the beauty of it is that it costs me nothing. There's no overdraft fees, no hidden fees, none of the crap that the traditional banks who give you 0.01% on your savings, none of that is there with this bank. Yeah, it's very much that good. And lastly, what if this bank also enabled other banks to act like itself through its technology platform? Now, you might be thinking, Lincoln, get to the point. What is this bank? What's their name? How can I sign up and get all of these delicious offerings and services? Right before I do that, let me tell you one more thing. There is no other bank like this bank. There is none other. Some might talk about it and say they're working on it and say how important it is to be a one-stop shop online bank, but only one company, one bank, has been able to merge both the benefits of traditional banks and online banks and all the services that come with those two into a single app, including brokerage services like Robinhood offers. In one app, that one-stop shop online bank is called.
If your money is working toward the same goals, why keep it in different places? SoFi is a one-stop shop for your finances, designed to work better together. Spend with SoFi and get cashback rewards that automatically go toward your goals, like investing in stocks, ETFs, and crypto. That's better together. Or pay down your SoFi debt sooner. That's better together. And that's how SoFi is helping millions get their money right.
SoFi Bank National Association. And that last part of that name was important because in the end of last month, January 2022, SoFi, the one-stop shop online bank that we've been covering on this channel, bullacademy.org, for over a year now, has become an actual bank. And we covered the approval by the OCC, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, just about a week or two ago when it was approved conditionally. And now this week, SoFi announced that they completed the acquisition of Golden Pacific Bank, a local bank in California that serves its community and small businesses nearby. This final step made SoFi officially a national bank with its bank charter, with all of the benefits of being a bank, with the FDIC insurance, which insures your money in SoFi Bank, and the ability to hold its members' deposits, which enables it to make more money off of those deposits, which in turn enables it to offer its members better services over the long term because it can be a sustainable business. And that's how we get to the point of this great opportunity that I want to talk to you about. And that is SoFi stock, SOFI. But before we get to that, if you're enjoying this video, do me a favor and like the video below, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and comment your thoughts below. Because without your engagement, this channel cannot be successful. So if you want to support this channel, all you have to do is like, subscribe, and comment. And of course, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. And lastly, these videos are brought to you by our patrons at patreon.bullacademy.org. We do this show together, and their financial support keeps this channel going. And they help me brainstorm new video ideas to share with all of you. And we discuss the stock market in real time every day and share news, rumors, and new investment ideas so we can all do our own research and then come back together and collaborate so we can make the best decisions for the long term. So I have here in front of me a list of some of the largest banks in the world by market cap. And you can invest in many of these companies, or most of them. And I just want to juxtapose their market caps and what they offer with SoFi's. There's JP Morgan and Chase, which is worth $441 billion. There is Bank of America at $375 billion, Wells Fargo at $217 billion. There is Morgan Stanley at $181 billion, Charles Schwab at $168 billion, Capital One at $61 billion. New Holdings, which is a customer of SoFi, just to be clear here, there's New Holdings Bank, NU, number 77 at $31 billion. And we have Ally to round off the list at number 100 at $16 billion. What some of these companies have in common is that they're customers of SoFi. But what they all have in common is that they don't offer a one-stop shop online bank like SoFi does. And yet they're all valued at much higher market caps than SoFi. What does that tell you? Well, what it tells me is that SoFi, worth about $9 or $10 billion after its recent drop in the market, is undervalued. And even if it's perfectly valued right now, if it's right where it should be, it tells me that now as a national bank, a real bank, it has a whole lot of upside potential, a whole lot of room to grow, because it's still a very small cap company in respect to these other banks that don't offer their members, their customers, anywhere close to what SoFi offers their customers. Those things I listed at the start of the video, the home mortgage, the personal loan, the student loan, the car refinancing, the credit card with no fees, the 1% interest on your savings account, none of these banks offer that. All of those things in one place. Investing in the stock market, in cryptos, in ETFs, robo-investing, investing advisory services. SoFi is the only one who puts all of that in one app and makes it so convenient. And this app is only going to get better with this acquisition of Golden Pacific Bank and the National Bank Charter. SoFi now has all of the tools and all of the room that they need to go out and make their services even better. And they have the ambition. They're going to do it. That's what they've said. And SoFi is worth $10 billion. The top bank on this list is worth $441 billion. That was JP Morgan Chase. My belief is that SoFi can become worth at least half of what JP Morgan Chase is within my lifetime. JP Morgan Chase is worth about 49 times more than SoFi. So that tells me in my lifetime, I could see SoFi get to a 25x return for me, investing for the long term, given all the services that SoFi offers that rivals what JP Morgan Chase offers. Of course, JP Morgan Chase has its own unique offerings that SoFi is not near yet, but SoFi is still very young. SoFi was only founded in 2011, about 11 years ago, and already they have more than 3 million members who they can upsell to, right, when they come in to the top of the funnel, which we've covered in many videos. You can go watch all our videos on SoFi. We've done a 2-part documentary on the history and future of SoFi. You should go watch those. When SoFi brings in members to the top of the funnel, they can then sell them on all their other services. So they get you in on investing, on your checking and savings account with high yields, and then they offer you personal loans and home mortgages and car loan refinancing and so many other services that you need along the way as you become a highly functioning adult and highly paid and a member of society that needs to build a family and do what adults do. SoFi's going to be there for you along the way. That's why it's important that they're a one-stop shop online bank, that they're the one-stop shop online bank, because there's no one else like them. And I'm not just saying that as a fanboy, I'm saying that as an investor. That's why I'm so excited about this company. And what they're doing is not easy to replicate. It's not easy. It's hard being a bank, a real bank. That's why most of the online banks that you've heard of aren't actual banks. They work with other partners, actual banks that fulfill the needs of their customers. SoFi used to be one of those banks, and they had to pay the middleman part of their profits. But now SoFi is an actual bank. They don't need the middleman. They get to keep all of their profits. So through all of the cross-selling that they do, from home mortgage, personal loan to student loans and all that, their revenues become cheaper over time, and they maintain more of their profits because they don't have a middleman. They don't have to work with another bank because they are a real bank. And so we've seen SoFi continue to grow its members. Their revenues continue to grow. They're going to be profitable on a adjusted EBITDA basis this year. And with all of that said, what we care about, or what you should care about as a growth investor, someone who's young trying to build their wealth over the long term, what you should care about is how fast they're growing their revenues and by how much. SoFi projects that they're going to continue to grow their revenues by 43% compounded annual growth rates over the next 3 years. That's through 2025. They plan to grow their revenues by 50% this year over last year, from $980 million last year, 2021, which they've actually increased in projections for Q4 that we expect in March. They expect to grow that to $1.5 billion this year. And becoming a real bank adds about 10% on top of that, what they have originally projected when they went public in 2021. So they're making all this money. They're now a national bank. They're going to make even more money thanks to that and higher profit margins. They're becoming profitable. They're the only one-stop shop online bank. Yet, the valuation has been cut in half and more since last year, from $25 per share to now $10, $11 per share, $12 per share. So with SoFi as my biggest position, it hurts because I'm taking a very aggressive investment approach and I'm doing some very risky things. So it hurts a little bit for me. But on the other side of it, it's a huge benefit because I get to buy SoFi at great discounts to what it should be priced at. The analysts say that SoFi is going to $25 $30 per share, and even more than that depending on what this bank charter proves to be this year in the first 2 or 3 quarters after the bank charter was acquired. So SoFi, according to these analysts, has at least a 50% upside from where it is today. So as an investor, that tells me this is an amazing investment opportunity, because by next year, if I invest now, my investment should grow by 50%. And that's on the low end, getting us to about $16 per share. Many of the analysts think we're going to $20 per share at least. So that gives us about 100% upside from here in the next 12 months. But if you look even further beyond that, 2, 5, 10, 20 years, we have a list here of other banks that offer inferior services to SoFi that are worth multiples and multiples more than what SoFi is. Looking at all of this, I'm excited for the future of SoFi. And let me just read to you a quote from the CEO on the acquisition of the Golden Pacific Bank and why it's so important before we end this out. Anthony Noto, the CEO of SoFi, who has been here and turned this company around from its days of the scandal that we've covered in our previous video that you should definitely go watch. It was a frat house. Those were the words used to describe the scene on the inside of the company in late 2017. I'm not making this up. Those are the words used by people on the inside as they describe. Anthony Noto says, this announcement reflects SoFi's ongoing mission to help people achieve financial independence and realize their ambitions. Through this acquisition, Golden Pacific Bank members can expect an elevated digital and more robust mobile banking experience to serve local businesses and individual customers. I thank Virginia, the CEO of Golden Pacific Bank, and her staff for being a great ally in this process, and look forward to building on Golden Pacific's reputation of being a local community-centered institution that puts its members first. So there's a lot to look forward to here from this acquisition of Golden Pacific Bank. And I'll talk more about that in the future. In this video, I just want to talk about what I'm looking forward to given the conclusion of this acquisition. Golden Pacific Bank is going to be better off for being a part of SoFi. SoFi is going to be better off for being a real bank. Its members are going to be better off for having a real bank to interface with and work with on all of their financial needs from the very start of their adult life through building their family and building their careers. SoFi will be there for them along the way, offering better services than the other banks. And along the way, if they so choose to move their accounts to other banks, online banks, who might offer higher interest rates or unique services, there's a 95% chance that that bank, those banks that they choose to move to in the off chance, will be customers of SoFi. Galileo, the technology platform that powers 95% of neobanks around the world. SoFi owns that. Another great acquisition by Anthony Noto. And we've covered why Galileo is so important to SoFi and its future in a previous video called SoFi Will Be Everywhere. No matter which bank you use, it's most likely powered by SoFi. And that means that SoFi benefits from you using it. So to an investor like myself, that makes me happy. That gives me more confidence in the upside potential of this company and the staying power of this company. Because as long as there's other banks out there that needs the services that SoFi's Galileo offers, SoFi will continue to make money, and increasingly so, as they work on moving their services, their Galileo services, to the cloud, so they can offer more and better services to their banking partners, like Robinhood, Chime, Dave, TransferWise, Revolut, all those banks that you've heard of, those brokerage accounts that you've heard of, they use SoFi's Galileo. That's how big it is. It's a big deal. And I won't delve into it here because I've covered it in the previous video that you should definitely go watch and learn more about SoFi. If you're investing in SoFi or you want to, this is the channel, bullacademy.org, to learn about its history and its future without all of the hype and all of the line goes up. Because this is going to be a rocky road. It's a growth stock, relatively small cap compared to its competitors. So it's going to go up and down. And sometimes it's going to be cut in half like it was recently in the last few months. But my belief is that over the long term, 5, 10, 20 years, 40 years, SoFi is going to be here and valued at multiples 10x, 20x of what it is today. So that's my pitch. I hope that you will consider it And of course, this is not investment advice. I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice. So it's just a pitch for you to consider for your own investments. And if you like it, if you don't, it's up to you. But as for myself, I am very excited about the future of SoFi Bank National Association. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment your thoughts on so far you invest and how many shares do you have? And do you plan to hold for the long term? Are you hanging in there through the recent dips? And we might be here for a while, so I'm taking this opportunity to buy up. I haven't had a chance to buy recently because I exhausted my finances, but I plan to buy if we stay in this channel for a while, between $10 and $12, $13 per share. This is a great opportunity to buy now, and I'm going to take advantage of that. There's a whole bunch of inefficiencies in the market right now with people panicking about the federal fund rate being raised this year to nearly 1%, which is still low. So which SoFi will benefit from, because as interest rates go up, that means that the cost of loans go up. People are still going to need loans, so SoFi is going to make more money on their loans, on their fixed rate loans. There's just a bunch of panicking. People are afraid. And of course, people are on margin. I'm on margin, so I understand that. If they're over leveraged, they're in trouble if things turn down. So they're hedging their bets. They're getting out of the market before it gets even worse. At least that's what they think. So yeah, SoFi stock might be down right now, but I believe over the long term we'll be fine. So I would love to hear from you. How are you hanging in there? How are you investing? Comment below. Let's discuss. And of course, as always, this video has been brought to you by our patrons at patreon.boacademy.org. We do this show together, and your financial support keeps this channel going. So if you'd like to become a patron, you can join us over at patreon.boacademy.org, and you will get more access to me and be able to engage on Discord channel where we share knowledge and discuss the stock market in real time every day by sharing news, rumors, and investment ideas so we can all do our own research and then come back together and collaborate. So if you're interested in all of that, I hope to see you over at patreon.boacademy.org. I'm Lincoln with boacademy.org. Thank you again, and have a great day.
Video call for Lincoln.
Babe?
Me too, but you woke me up.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, babe.